Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be diving into a very specific energy dynamic that I felt coming up. And so this video is being inspired by a collective reading that I was channeling into, and I noticed during the extended version of that reading that there was this very, very intense love dynamic coming up, and my guides were urging me in that video to actually give that dynamic its whole own space in a separate reading video, undistracted, with no other threads of energy, just this one specific person and dynamic, because their soul really wants to come through here. And there is a lot of struggle energy within this person, meaning their soul is fighting their mind. And this is someone who is in some kind of system. It could be a family system, a belief system. It could just be the matrix, and seeing things from a purely logical perspective to the extent that it's blocked them from being open to seeing things from more of a soul perspective. But there's some kind of system or program that this person has been caught up in that is very much in their mind. It's like them in their head, like consciously they want to make this program or thing work, but their soul is with you and their soul is connected to you. And this person is struggling internally because they feel you in their soul. And actually, I'm getting the word soulless. So for a while, I feel like their mind was really winning out, maybe prior to meeting you, or maybe you had a reconnection recently or something. But what I'm getting is that for a while, their mind was really winning over their soul. And this is someone who for a period of time may have even lived in a way that felt soulless. They may have felt like their life was devoid of like passion or true joy or fulfillment or creativity. Like they were just living on autopilot, but living in the way that felt, or I should say not felt, because their heart was pretty closed off, but that sounded or seemed logical to their minds, that looked logical or practical, but felt so devoid of soul. And I'm hearing you reminded them what it was like to feel, whether this was the two of you meeting the first time or maybe reconnecting if this has been going on for a while, but something with you reminded them what it was like to feel and reminded them of the soul within them, because this is someone who has a similar soul frequency to yours. So this would be someone who is either a twin flame or a soulmate, depending on your circumstances. I felt in the extended reading that I was channeling into, I got very strong twin flame vibes. But of course, this doesn't have to be a twin flame for you. So take that however it resonates. But I'm getting something about there being a silence here, but silently, this person is internally struggling with themselves. So most likely, they haven't been communicating with you or reaching out, or there's been some kind of disconnect here. And yet internally, I'm hearing the feelings for you are only increasing, and the sense of spiritual connectedness to you is only increasing. And so I want to channel into this by pulling some cards here just to see what else wants to come up from this person's energy. This may be sort of a shorter reading. I'm not really sure, just because we may only channel into this one dynamic and see where it goes. And then I'll probably end the reading when I pull through whatever messages I can pull through from this person. So what can I channel from this person or this energy? Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles in the upright position. So this is someone who seems to be very financially or materially secure, or they seem to have some kind of status. A card just came flying out here. So yeah, this is the Lovers. The Lovers. And at first it was in the reverse position, but what I see this meaning is, while they have this status or this wealth, or they feel very secure financially, they have felt, I'm hearing, so disconnected from their person, which they feel to be you, from their soul, where the two of you are connected. And so it's funny because when I said disconnected from their person, I almost wanted to also say disconnected from their soul. But I heard those two lines like overlaid on each other because they feel like they carry an equivalent meaning. Like them disconnecting from their soul automatically seems to disconnect them from you, and them disconnecting from you seems to like require them to try and like disconnect from their soul because you are so there within them in their soul. But what I'm getting is that they've been focusing heavily on like their work or their finances or this stability or security that they have. And I'm also getting that they're very afraid to do anything to compromise that status or that security. Now, for some of you, maybe there's something about your connection that contradicts their sense of material security or their status or would lead to complications there. That won't be for everyone, but that could be, especially if their sense of security materially is somehow tied to that system that we talked about earlier that they were struggling against. I almost feel like somehow it came down to them choosing between their status and their security and the things that they were deriving security from physically, choosing between that and choosing between you and choosing to throw caution to the wind and follow their soul. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe you'll know more of the specifics of that dynamic. Can I get any more information on what is going on within this person right now? They're feeling overburdened. Yeah, with the 10 of Wands, this is someone feeling very overwhelmed. But I'm getting that they weren't feeling this way before because it's almost as though the reason that they have this overwhelm is because now their soul is activated by you. I keep getting that message that you activated their soul. Like something you did or said, or maybe the two of you meeting or reconnecting, it activated their soul. And now that feels like, in a way, a distraction for them. They used to be able to manage all of these responsibilities and things in the physical world when it came to their work or their status or their career or their day-to-day life, because they would just, I'm hearing the word mundane. It felt very mundane to them, but they would just put themselves on autopilot. They would live this kind of soulless existence and disconnect from their own heart. And they would just make themselves do all of these things. But now I'm hearing, since meeting or reconnecting with you, they cannot put themselves back on autopilot. Their heart won't let them. And they keep trying, but they quite literally can't. They feel like they are distracted by thoughts of you and just by you generally all day long. I'm hearing everything makes me think of you. I'm also hearing it's only getting worse. Like they feel like these feelings for you are only getting more intense, even with time and with distance. I'm also hearing something about checkpoints or touch points. So I don't know if there are times where you and this person check in with each other or they check in with you. Maybe this happens spiritually or metaphysically. Maybe it happens physically in a literal sense, like one of you reaches out to the other or something like that. For some reason, I was seeing people like reaching out on holidays or birthdays, or like I'm hearing windows of opportunity. Like this person may always be subconsciously seeking windows of opportunity to have these touch point or checkpoint moments with you, but they're feeling very overwhelmed right now. And I'm getting it's because they're still trying to manage everything about their daily life. But on top of that, they have all of these feelings about you that are so stirred up within them. Can I get more information on what is overwhelming this person? Why are they feeling overwhelmed? We have the 8 of Wands. The 6 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. This is such a strange energy. I feel this person going between two different things, or like choosing between two different things. I'm getting that why they're so distracted is because the feelings for you are continuing to progress. It's like those feelings are building momentum, but it's almost like there's nothing to ground them because there's been some disconnect or some distance. So the feelings are progressing, but the progression isn't happening physically because they're in this internal state of struggle. And I'm hearing something about how I heard you took yourself out of the competition. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's literal for some of you. Like you felt like you were competing for this person's love or time or energy or attention. Maybe they had someone else in their life romantically. For others of you, I'm getting that this person was internally struggling. There was this internal competition, like competing forces within them. And you removed yourself from the competition. Like you essentially said, okay, you deal with this. You resolve this within yourself, but I am removing myself from this struggle. I'm removing myself from this competition until you figure things out within yourself. That's like kind of the energy that I'm getting from you here now. Of course, this is one of those readings that does feel very specific. So only take this if it is resonating for you, if it connects for you. But I am just getting this feeling that they are picking between, well, they feel as though they're struggling between two different things. I actually feel that they chose to move on, like they consciously chose that they were going to let you go and move on because that's what logically or practically made sense. So it's not really quite right to say they're picking between two things because their conscious mind already picked. Like their conscious mind said, okay, we are going to choose what's logical and practical, but their heart can't do it. Their soul can't do it because that's not what their soul chose. It's like their heart, their mind, their soul and their heart are choosing differently from their mind, their logic, and their practicality. And that's why they're still in this back and forth state. And that's what's weighing on them and distracting them so much. I'm hearing, I don't know what to do. That's how this person is feeling. With the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords, I see like two parallel pathways, two different pathways presenting themselves, diverting pathways. And one seems to be this path where they choose to attempt to heal from this and to move on. They choose to like run away from their feelings and try to shut their feelings down to the best of their abilities. That's the Six of Swords coming up here. But the Six of Wands is them choosing to lean into these feelings and lean into their heart and let themselves be carried by this momentum of this emotion and let it push them into passionate action. And those feel like the two different competing forces within them because like a part of them is running away or trying to run away, but then a part of them is continuously running back to you or circling back to you. And I'm hearing that if you ever engage with or interact with this person, it's almost like you can see these competing energies within them playing out in real time. Because there may be moments where they seem so connected to you and like emotionally open, and then they suddenly pull back again. And that's the competition that you removed yourself from. It's like, I feel like you said, I respect and love myself too much to subject myself to the whims of like whichever competing energy within you is winning. I feel like that's what you said to yourself and you stepped back or you set some kind of boundary there. But now it's been up to this person to resolve that within themselves. I also feel something about like them having tried to make it your decision or like to almost try to like make you be the one to walk away or you be the one to shut it down. But I feel like you basically said, I feel like you were very clear in some way where it's like you in some way or another made it clear to this person that you had this love for them, but that you were stepping back or walking away out of respect for yourself. And you firmly left the ball in their court, even though they tried to put it back in your court. The ball is firmly in their court and they know it, and that terrifies them. And that's why they tried to put the ball back in your court, but it didn't work because it's up to them to resolve this competing energy within themselves and to make the decision whether it's almost like they didn't really want to choose. They wanted to offload that choice onto you, but you put it back to them because I feel you were very clear. I feel that when it came to this person, you did or said something to them that made it very evident that you held a lot of love for them. And I don't know if this was, I actually do feel that this was something very specific, but it will be personal to you. So it will look different from person to person. But I feel like there was something, maybe you literally just told them how you felt about them. I feel like there was a moment that you shared where either through your eyes, through your voice, through what you told them, through something you did, you communicated the profound love that you have for this person. And in doing so, you also communicated the love that you have for yourself. And this, I'm almost tearing up here because it's so beautiful to see this progression on your journey and to see the level of self-love and self-respect that you've come into, because I know this wasn't easy for you. For whatever collective I'm speaking to, I feel you held your love for this person in equal proportion, like equal parts to the love that you have for yourself. And so when you communicated your love to them, whether it was through your words, your actions, or just your energy, you at the same time communicated your respect and your love for yourself. And you were open about both sides of that equation. Like that was the whole truth on your end, the love you have for them, but also the love you have for yourself. And ultimately, because of the love that you have for yourself, even though you have this love for them that was clearly communicated, you made it clear that you couldn't go, I'm hearing like one step further until they resolved this conflict or competition energy within themselves or their life, because you loved yourself too much to subject yourself to whatever those competing forces were and how that was affecting you. And you know that you deserve to be wholly met where you are and to be completely celebrated as you are. And so I'm hearing you did a very beautiful and graceful job as well of like walking this line that was so difficult, because you weren't harsh or cold to this person. You held a warmth for them. You communicated your love for them clearly, but you equally communicated with equal clarity your love for yourself. And ironically, you doing that, even if it meant this disconnect between the two of you, made this person only love, admire, and respect you more, because they saw that respect that you have for yourself in real time. And so that is only amplifying this sense of conflict within them, because now they actually love and respect you even more because of how you showed that love for yourself in choosing to go no step further with them until they resolved this within themselves. So I just wanted to channel into this very complex energy coming up here. I do want to pull a few final messages from this person, but I also want to share with you that I've created subliminals to help support you on this journey. I personally have used subliminals over the years to manifest in my own life, and I found these types of meditation to be so powerful in shifting my energy and helping me to manifest in my life. So I now have created my very own Subliminals app, and the name of the app is Sound and Soulful. So as you can see on the screen, in this app, I have over 150 subliminals for love, relationships, energy clearing, mood, mindset, appearance, money, business, and so many other things as well. I personally use my own app every single day, every morning, because in the morning, your subconscious mind is more open and impressionable, and subliminals are working directly with your subconscious, which is so powerful because it's actually our subconscious that controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. So much of our life is really driven on autopilot through the subconscious mind. And I've personally found subliminals to be a really effective way to shift what's happening in my subconscious and my energy to affect what I'm manifesting back into my reality. So specifically, if this reading is connecting for you, I would really recommend a couple different subliminals. The first one is Twin Flame 7 Chakra Clearing, especially if this is a twin flame connection. Regardless of whether or not you desire to reconnect physically with this person, this subliminal will help to clear any energy blocks between the two of you through the 7 chakra centers. It will also help to align you with the super high frequency magnetic energy of unconditional love, which is so powerful, not just for attracting your highest timeline in love, but for manifesting in all areas of your life. I would also recommend secondarily a brand new subliminal I've created called Manifest Their Higher Self. This subliminal is designed to help you to hold space for the people around you, to inspire them up to a higher version of themselves by seeing that best version of themselves within them and helping to inspire them energetically up to that level. And in this person's case, I see that they seem to be so close to being on the brink of these positive shifts in their own life and to even reconnecting in positive ways as they lean more into their soul. And so meditating with this subliminal is designed to help to draw out those positive traits in the higher self of others within them, to help them feel better and more like their true self in your presence, and to be able to communicate and connect more authentically with you. So you could even add these two subliminals to your own playlist. I do have the feature in the app of being able to create your own custom private playlists. You can also read all of the affirmations in every subliminal while you're listening. And you can listen to each one in 10 different background sound options depending on your preference. So if you'd like to get started, you can try out the app completely free for 7 days. And the link to get started is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. So let's go ahead and channel into some final messages from this person's soul. And I really do want to speak to their soul, to speak to that core part of themselves that you activated or reactivated within them. So I'm going to be pulling from some different decks here. And what can I channel from this person's soul or from their higher self here? What does this person's soul want to say? Incarnated angels, you are never alone. Divine support is always within reach. Trust that you are being held in the embrace of higher energies and allow yourself to be led with grace, wisdom, and unwavering faith. I feel like this person's higher self, first of all, wants to say that they see you as this very angelic presence in their life. I've referred to this dynamic before as like a spiritual SOS symbol or signal, but there is this sort of dynamic or phenomenon amongst soul family where when someone is in trouble or in essence feeling overwhelmed or feeling sad, feeling a lot of heavy emotion or going through something, their soul sends out this SOS signal, so to speak, that others are able to feel and sense in the quantum realm. This is why sometimes you suddenly get inspired to reach out to someone and then they say, whoa, I really needed someone to talk to. It's because they send out this signal. And I'm getting that often when this person's soul is going through something very heavy, they send out this signal. And because of how spiritually connected you are, because you are part of this person's soul family, you are often the one that has answered that call for them. And I'm hearing in ways that you don't even consciously know about. I feel like there have been times where this person feels as though you've been their light in a very dark place or a dark time because of your connection to them, either on this like higher energy level, or maybe even because of ways that the two of you would communicate or connect physically as well. But in either case, they see you as almost like this guide in their life spiritually. Even if they don't fully understand that on a conscious level, they feel like you somehow guide them mentally into these higher versions or better versions of themselves. Like, for example, this may be someone who, whenever they're about to make a decision, even if they're disconnected from you, they think like, well, what would collective do? Like, what would you do in this situation? And they think that because on some level, they almost perceive you as this guide for them, this angelic presence in their life. And I also feel from this card, a message from their higher self, that while their physical self may be struggling right now against whatever this system is or this facade is that they've been trying to hold up in the physical, their higher self wants you to know how much they admire you in continuing to trust yourself and to trust your own unique path and to not cater to them or to cave to whatever is going on with them in the physical. I feel this speaks to that profound admiration that they have for you, even when they are struggling within themselves or in a state of conflict internally in the 3D. Their higher self feels this deep admiration and respect for you because of how you are trusting your inner guidance and making decisions that are so self-loving and self-respecting for you. So I'm going to go ahead and close the reading here. I hope something resonated for you in a personal way. If so, I would love to hear from you in the comments. You can also subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. And if you would like to check out these subliminals I recommended earlier, the link to get my Subliminals app, Sound and Soulful, is in the pinned comment and description box below. Otherwise, I'm sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful day, and I will connect with you here again in tomorrow's video.